is Kaimana Kane, but before we get started with today's video, I want to get a huge shout out to Nerd Assassins. It's all about study, strategize, and execute. It's on the mats, it's on the classroom, and it just really encourages kids to study and basically study, strategize, and execute.
Show them the back. The back's pretty cool. It's a nice little shield. And you got, that's like the computers, you got the belts, the microscope, the wrestling. So it's Wrestling MMA, Nerd Assassins Nation. Awesome sponsor. Check them out at nerdassassins.net. And these guys have some great gear. Pretty cool stuff. You see them at competitions. And whenever we see these guys at competitions before, we knew they're pretty smart kids. And so they're going to be very dangerous on the mat. So dangerous on the mat, dangerous in the mind. So we're doing this video today because Kaimana's received a few messages on Instagram asking for help with the rear naked choke. Some people are having issues with it, really solidifying it. So we're going to go ahead and do that today. Show a couple different variations of the rear naked choke that we found effective over the years. And I'm going to do it on him so you can see his face. All right, so let's start. So start with the rear naked choke. Again, we'll say from here, always have your hooks in like this. Never cross your feet, because if he sees this, he puts his leg right over and then locks it on this side, on top. It's going to pull the leg. It's going to go ahead and be very painful for my leg. So I keep him like this, right here. A lot of times you might start with the seat belts, right? So he's trying to fight this. He's going to fight it. It'll be hard. What I want to do is, a lot of people make the mistake of just keeping the forearm in front. It's going to be more of a crank at that time, because if he puts his chin down and I'm trying to do the rear naked choke, it's going to be really more of my bone on his chin, which can be effective, just as effective as a rear naked choke. It's more of a crank and just pressure, because you're putting the wrist bone on the jaw or right underneath the nose and really ripping it across. So it's more of a neck crank and pushing the head forward, okay? But for the rear naked choke, you really want to get the crease of the elbow right underneath the Adam's apple, or right in front. If it's off to the side, it might work, but realistically, this is the rear naked choke all the way in. You want to have this arm come up, either grab your bicep or your shoulder, whichever's closer. Second thing is, the other hand. A lot of people will do this, the old school, where they have the thumb going down and pushing the head forward, right? Now, if in a perfect world I can get my whole arm underneath his neck and push it forward, it could choke, but now I'm using more muscle than anything else. I'm going to go ahead and be a little bit tighter. Go ahead and tap if it hurts. It's a little slow for a 10-year-old kid. But if I go ahead and have the thumb up and slide it across and touch my other shoulder or bicep over here, now let's go ahead. It's a lot faster. But here's a little tip. One of the things when we do a rear naked choke, he can still move his head around. He can fight. He can try and reach over, grab my hands, right? If he try to pull him over this way, there's a lot of issues. But if I have the thumb up and I put my head on the side of his head, now I'm mitigating his space, where he has almost no space to move his head around. I'm able to move his head, or he can't move his head around. Go ahead and move your head around. Okay, and then I just squeeze. So I'm starting to squeeze a little bit. Good. A lot of jiu-jitsu professors and judo coaches and senseis will teach you squeeze your elbows together. So cameraman, can you come on this side a little bit? So a lot of times you're squeezing your elbows together. It kind of works. But a secret is to actually do it, bring your elbow back this side. So ready? So I'm going back this way. What'd you feel on that one?
It felt more pressure on the neck, and it was a lot tighter and literally no space, so it choked me out a lot faster.
So you're bringing it, you still have it across, but you want to bring this arm back. What it's doing is kind of stretching them out and also getting a lot more pressure. Again, I'm going to this side because it's the arm that's underneath the chin, or trying to be underneath the chin on the neck. Now, if he has his chin down, it's kind of tight, right? I can still smother his face and still kind of do it where it's more of a choke. It's not really a choke, it's, more of a crank. And I'm just doing here is I can go ahead, stretch him out, and turn this way as well. Where does that hurt?
It's on the back of the head and neck, kind of like it's more of a crank than a choke, more than anything.
So you have a lot of options. If it's not always a perfect world. If you got somebody who knows what they're doing, probably going to have a tough time. And that's why the secret that we like is having the arm all the way in, grab the bicep or shoulder, thumb up, goes across other shoulder, and I like to put my head on his head so it doesn't allow him to really move. It makes him stuck. A lot of times if you imagine someone just comes behind you and there's a squeeze in the back of your head and you can't really move, it's a little bit of anxiety, a little panic takes over because now it's like, what am I doing? And then they're squeezing the carotid arteries. So again, what you're trying to do is with the forearm and the bicep is squeeze the carotid arteries here, holding this way, bringing elbow in tight and then bringing this arm backwards, right? Like this way. So that kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
So that's that's one of the main ways that we found to be very effective. Some guys might disagree with it. This usually works for us pretty quickly. You do a rear naked choke effectively with somebody who knows what they're doing, or if you learn how to do this and practice it a lot, you can choke somebody out and get them to tap in about 5 to 6 seconds, maybe less. You got somebody with like big strong arms like Dean Lister or Jocko Willink. Yeah, you're done. You're gonna pray that you pass out before you can tap because you don't want those guys on you. If you can't get it and it's like right here and his chin's down and you're trying to choke, get it in tight, well, my recommendation is go ahead. You can slide your hand up. Go ahead, keep forward and keep fighting. His hands might be trying to get it. I'm gonna keep my hands right up here. And instead of having my left arm out this way and trying to do a crank this way, I wanna try and put it over his shoulder. Some people go palm to palm. You can go S grip. You can do a lot. With this, I like the S grip because I'm usually palm to palm, gable grip or regular in the thumbs, and I'm cranking, trying to go hard and trying to neck crank them. Fight, resist a little bit, resist. But I find it a lot more effective if I go to the S grip here, and now I'm behind. I'm kind of hiding my forearm back here behind his shoulder. Go ahead. So right here, go ahead, come on, fight back, fight back, fight back, fight back. And it's more of a crank. What I want to do here is start pulling backwards so I'm stretching him out. When I stretch him out, it tends to expose his neck a little bit. So if he has his chin down, have your chin down the entire time, looking forward. Don't let me get it, don't let me get it, don't let me get it. I'm going this way. His neck is being exposed. I can go ahead, slide across this way, and now I'm underneath. And I just do it the opposite side. Again, thumb up behind the head. If you have it behind this way, thumb down, and you're pushing the head forward, you probably pull it off on somebody who's never been rear naked choked or has ever watched any MMA match. But chances are somebody knows what they're doing. They just they're gonna try and fight, pull the arms off. Thumb up, grab the arm, elbow in front, other side, and squeeze, and now I'm pulling this way. How do you feel?
It chokes a lot.
Okay, good. Again, the same way. If I'm trying to do this, he's fighting, so go ahead and fight, resist, resist. So as he's pulling this arm down, pull this arm down, more. What I do? Other side, I can do the face up high, use the arm across the face, stretch back, break this arm. Okay, don't let go of this arm. I can pull it back. Don't let go of this arm. I can pull it back. Don't let go of this arm. Really tight, really tight. I can pull it back. Now what? As I pull back, now I slide through underneath. So a lot of times what I've done is if his chin's down and I'm trying to fight, I'm trying to get across, I'll go ahead and switch side to side until I can get his chin up just high enough. And a lot of times I'm using muscle until I can get the technique. Once I have the technique, it's good night, Irene, as Mike Chavilla said, the voice. Any questions on that? Do you think we explained it well enough?
Yeah, I think we did.
So you want to try it on me real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Should have kept my mouth shut. Okay. So you want to be up a little bit higher. So this one, because I got a big neck. Good. Now I'm a bigger person, right? A bigger opponent. So what he needs to do is actually extend my upper body so he can expose my neck a little bit more. Now it's like this. Now he's fighting, getting it nice and deep, all the way around. So if he goes across, are your thumbs up or down?
Thumb is down.
Good. So now what? Now you push my head forward, right?
Yeah.
I can still fight. I can still pull the hands over this way. Thing that's dangerous, if I can keep it on my elbow, I got an arm bar right there, right? So if he puts his thumbs up and gets all the way across and touches his other arm.
Karma.
Yeah, whatever. So chop. So again, secret is elbow in front. Try and get underneath the chin. If you can't, cover their mouth. Because when you're fighting, doing self-defense, you're trying to take away from your opponent 3 things, or one of 3 things, if not all 3. What are they?
Their balance.
With balances by throws, pulling them backwards even on this choke. What else?
Their breathing.
Their breathing. Their breathing can be a rear naked choke. It can also be covering their mouth. I've seen guys in fights, and I think Seth Petrozelli did that. He would cover somebody's mouth as he was on the side. And so they're defending his arm. He's trying to go for an Americana. And they go ahead. He starts covering his mouth, covering the opponent's mouth with the other hand. They freak out. They reach up. They let go of fighting his Americana hand to pull the hand down. And he sinks it in. I mean, and what's the third thing?
Their sight.
Their eyesight, their vision.
Vision.
On the street, what's the best way to go ahead and do that?
Cover their eyes, poke them in the eyes.
Yeah, you know, there's not a lot of muscles protecting the eyes, so number 1 self-defense move that generally works is a finger strike to the eyes. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of guys will say, oh, if you can't do a rear naked choke on me because I'll just stick my fingers in your eyes. Yeah, like Boss Rune said that, just squeeze the life out of you. So I'm doing this, I got the rear naked choke, go ahead, stick me in the eyes.
Yeah, sure. Good night.
Close my eyes. Now, it might hurt, yeah, I might get a little finger, but I'm gonna squeeze him out and he's gonna be asleep in the next few seconds. So hopefully that helps. I guess, any words of wisdom before we leave?
Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate your views and, well, helping this channel be sensation to YouTube. And yeah,
Send us any more questions. We're happy to help out. And then, yeah, check out nerdassassins.net. Great gear, cool people. Said they have a lot of stickers and patches, look pretty cool. Kids love them, so check them out.
they have hats, rash guards, shirts.
They have nice bags for traveling. They have sweatsuits and everything. Really comfortable stuff. They do wrestling, MMA, jiu-jitsu. Good people. So
Check them out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications as any other video. And
just like a YouTuber. All right.
good night.
All right.